Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is Nedarim daf Iyun. The Mishnah talks about a difference. Huh?
Shabbos daf.
This is today, Friday's daf. The Mishnah talks about the difference between a Nazirus and a Shvuah. A Nazirus, you can have a Nazirus Chal and a Nazirus. For example, you say Harini Nazir Hayom, and then you say Harini Nazir Hayom. So therefore, both Nazirus take effect. They don't literally take effect at the same time. First, you have to do Nazirus of 30 days, which is Tam Nazirus Shloshim Yom. After that's over, then you're chayiv because of what you said 30 days ago. Take another Nazirus. You have to basically do 60 days of Nazirus. By a Shvuah, that's not the case. Here, a Shvuah, I'm not going to eat this piece of bread, and then you repeat, a Shvuah, I'm not going to eat this piece of bread, and then you eat the piece of bread. You're only chayiv either one set of malchus, or if you did a peshogi, you're only chayiv one korban, because the second Shvuah is not chal. In Shvuah chal Shvuah. But yesh neder b'soch neder. Neder is chal on top of another neder. And Nazirus is a type of a neder, at least according to the Mishnah. The Gemara records machlokas in Rav Huna and Shmuel. Rav Huna says, and the Mishnah is talking about Loshana el damar harin nazar yom nazar lemachar. When we say a Nazirus could be chal and Nazirus, that only means if you said a little differently, it has to be that I said I'm a Nazir starting today, and then you added I'm a Nazir starting tomorrow. Now, even though 29 of those 30 days overlap, right? As he says, Migo de Kamentosov Yom Yisei Rachayla Naziros and Naziros. If I would have just said I'm a Nazir today and I'm a Nazir today, so the second one can't be Chal for some reason. If he adds another day, right, 31st day, so then the second Nazir says Chal. It finds a place to be Chal. Shmuel says no, like the Pshitos of the Mishnah, the simplicity of the Mishnah, is that Nazirus, Chal and Nazirus, even if I said Harein Nazir Hayom, both of them would be Chal. You don't have to add another day. What are they arguing about, Shmuel and Rav Huna? So we're going to talk more about this in Daf Yud Ches, but just to get our feet wet in this this topic, there's a discussion by Nazirus. Is Nazirus considered to be an Isser on the Chefsa or Isser on the Gabra? Now, Shvuah, the Gemara is Machalik on Daf Beis and Beis. And the whole concept of Isser Neder is that it's an Isser Chefsa, right? I asked her a piece of bread, a piece of meat. Isser is Chal on the piece of meat, the piece of bread. By Shvuah, when I say I'm not going to eat a piece of bread, Shvuah, I'm not going to eat a piece of bread. So the Shvuah is not on the bread itself. The Shvuah is it's on the Gabra, it's on me. I can't eat this loaf of bread. So that's really the explanation why ain't Shvuah Chal al Shvuah. The reason a Shvuah can't be Chal al Shvuah, I'm not going to eat this piece of bread. A Shvuah, I repeat, I'm not going to eat this piece of bread. So you're not saying anything new. You can only have, right? Isser Gavra means I can't eat this piece of bread. So what am I adding by saying I can't eat this bread? We know you can't eat a piece of bread. So it doesn't make sense that Shvuah should be Chal Shvuah. By a Neder, we're not going to get to zeros for a second. By a Neder, it makes sense that Neder should be Chal Neder. If I say that this, there's a Neder on this piece of bread for 30 days, right? Because we're talking about Nazir for 30 days. We're not talking. If I would say there's another piece, there's an konam this piece of meat forever, and then I say konam this piece of meat forever, so there will be no place for the second neder to be chal. But since the Mishnah is talking about Nazirus, right? Assuming Nazirus is an Isra Chefsa, right? What would be the Chefsa by Nazirus? You, the person, would be the Chefsa, right? Because you are a Nazir. Like a Nazir is Lashon Nezer, like a crown. You're wearing a crown on your head. You can't eat grapes. You can't have metamala mason. You can't cut your hair. There's an Isra, the Chefsa, meaning the Gavra is a Chefsa, but there is a Chefsa over here. It's not, a Gavra means there's no physical thing. It's Davar Shem Bo Mamish. It's just my words bind me not to eat this loaf of bread. A Chefsa is actually Kedusha or some Isser is Chal on the person himself. But maybe that's what it is by Nazira. So if I took a neder that should be usher for 30 days, so then I could have another neder that the bread should be usher for 30 days when the first 30 days elapses. So it has a makom to be chal. A neder is chal, right? It's called a status. There's a status. It takes effect. It creates something new, a neder. It's a status on this piece of bread, so therefore, after 30 days, the first status is over. The second status will find a place to have meaning. Like Shvuah, it's just words. It's just dibur that's binding me. Sure, I want to eat a piece of bread. So then I say, sure, I want to eat a piece of bread. I'm not adding anything. It's just words. Words are meaningless. If they don't have a makom to be chal, a makom to find rest, they're not chal. They're not chal in the beginning. But a neder could. So a nazirus is like taking a neder for 30 days. If you can take such a neder for 30 days. So if you assume, so Shmuel assumes that nazirus is an Isra Chefsa. So therefore, if I say Harini Nazir Hayom, so therefore, it finds after 30 days, when the first Naziris is over, the second Naziris is piggybacking the first Naziris, and when it finds a makom to be chal, be chal, it's chal on the back of the chefs of the person. Rav Huna, maybe I'm suggesting, would argue that Naziris is not an Isser chefsa, that Naziris creates certain isurim on the gavra. I take a Naziris, right, which is a status, but it's not chal physically or metaphysically on the person. It's just binds me with certain Isurei Gavra, right? Now I have an Isser, right? A lot of Isurim in the Torah. Kohen came with Tam on the Mason, right? When you say it's an Isser Gavra, no, it's an Isser. The Torah warns him not to be Tam on the Mason. Similarly, when I take an Aziras upon myself, I ask for myself to be Tam on the Mason, to drink wine, and to cut my hair. It creates three Isurei Gavra, three basic Isurei Gavra on the person. So therefore, according to Rav Huna, it's like a shvuah. Ain't shvuah chal shvuah. I can't repeat my Nazir if I say the same thing. But what does he hold? If I say Harini Nazir Hayom and Harini Nazir Lamachar, so those are two different statements, right? Because an Nazirus is a 30-day period. So I say 30 days starting from now, and the 30 days starting from tomorrow. So that's something new. I'm machadish something new. My dibur, right? My dibur, even though it's Isser Gavra, we're only talking about words over here. But I'm saying something new. I'm saying, right? So you can't say my words are meaningless. When I say, Shua, I'm not going to eat this piece of bread. Shua, I'm not going to eat this bread. It's meaningless. You're just, adding to, just reinforcing what you said, which is halakhically considered meaningless. But if I'm saying something new, right? 30 days now, and 30 days starting from tomorrow, which adds another day in my zeros technically. So then it's a new. You can't disregard the second dibur. So therefore, the naziros will be following the zeros. In that case, according to Rav Huna. And that's why he says only in that case. But if it was at the same time, it wouldn't be, because it's only Mr. Gavra, and it would be like, Shmuel, I'm not going to eat this piece of bread. Shmuel, I'm not going to eat this piece of bread. You're just reinforcing what you're saying. So if it's the same thing, it's rendered meaningless in the beginning. It has no place to be chal, no place to rest the Isser, and therefore it's batel. Hope you enjoyed today's shir. See you in the next one.